This was the coldest place in BC, and every valley bottom in this part of the country, it's got 10-12 feet of snow, and it's a long winter. It goes end of October right through till May, and it really is tough country.
Stone sheep, to me, are one of the most magnificent creatures on earth. Their pursuit is made more difficult by the fact that they live in some of the most remote and rugged terrain in North America. Add to that the often less than ideal weather conditions, and you have what the average non-outdoors person would consider a complete nightmare. But for the hunting-infused adventurer, it's a dream come true. This hunt would be special for me in many ways. Besides being a true once-in-a-lifetime hunt, it'd be a tribute to the memory of one of my best friend's son, Callen Little, who we lost this year at 9 years of age. Callen loved the outdoors, and I couldn't help but feel closer to him in the high altitudes of this pristine wilderness. I found myself talking to him throughout the trip and feeling certain he was there with me in spirit. I love the smell of the bush plane. I love the lonely sound of its engine as it echoes through the valleys, leaving you more self-sufficient than you are at any other time in your life. Deep into the Cassiar Mountains in northern British Columbia, our float plane delivered us to guide Warren Lees and Wrangler Dylan Massey. I came to respect them both for their woodsmanship, the way they handled their horses, and their love of the country. Everything you take for granted in your day-to-day life, easy access to water, a bathroom, a shelter, a mattress, they're all gone. Everything is a manual process. I think the backcountry grounds you in these ways. It reminds you how simple and beautiful life can be. Many people think that in remote country you see game on every hill and in every valley. The reality is the winters are so harsh in this country, only the strongest survive. Only those that can clear out before the storm. The chores of camp never stop. I love what they add to the experience. There's nothing like a fire and cowboy coffee to recall the day and dream of what the next one holds. This type of country will test your will, not just physically, but equally so mentally. The longer you glass without seeing game, the more your mind tugs at your will. Sheep hunting, like any mountain hunting, is day after day of glassing and glassing and more glassing. And then it happens. After 3 days of not seeing a single sheep, there in the ground we covered day after day, persistence pays off.
Boy, that one horn is beautiful.
We quickly noticed this ram had a unique feature. 90% of one of his horns was missing. I'll never forget the sound of my heart pounding in my ears when we found him. our first mature ram.
He's got one horn that's in that leak. So that's the class of ram that he is. He's got one horn, but that's the ballpark he's in.
To me, it's one of those possibly one in a lifetime hunts, you know, for me. And I know he's an awesome animal, there's no doubt about it. It's just that part of it is not what I pictured, you know.
It's a 40-inch ram on one side. He's just got a deformed, kind of almost a ball on the other side. It's just unbelievable. Huge old ram. Just not quite there. The other side is severely deformed. It's a great ram, though.
The mood in camp changed a little when I elected to pass. I couldn't blame the guys for being disappointed. It was painful to pass on this old warrior, but I knew I would only hunt stone sheep one time in my life, and this was my dream hunt. I wanted to find a mature ram with both sides intact. Stone sheep are special. They're the most geographically limited in range of all the North American sheep, so relatively few humans can ever even expect to see one. But to see one like this, a magnificent, giant old ram, likely 13 years old, it was humbling to say the least. The next morning we headed the exact opposite direction that we'd been traveling each day prior. The weather was slightly better, and although the weight of disappointment was in the air, it wouldn't last. Only an hour from camp we stopped at our first river crossing and Warren hops from his horse to survey the mountain face. After 30 seconds of glassing, Warren casually turned, walked away from his scope, flopped his arms in disbelief, and in his signature dry delivery said, "There's a pretty nice ram." His plan for the day was glassing several miles from here. But as if by divine intervention, there stood the most beautiful creature I had ever had the fortune to behold, and everything changed.
That is freaking ram of my dreams right there.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to. There isn't really any way across other than take your shoes off, walk across the river here, and then.
Well, we can walk the horses across and then tie them up on that side.
I suppose we could do that too. Yeah.
We're gonna have to take off our clothes and swim across. We'll hold each other so we don't float downriver.
It's gonna be in there.
It's the only way to do it.
We got a good laugh out of that. These are the moments that only hunters can understand. They're what make a good experience a great experience.
I mean, he's just thick all the way up.
I got my pinky finger out right now for a ram like that. On the spot, no questions asked. Oh my god. No, like to see that one yesterday, like that's the ram of a lifetime. Like people hunt their whole lives, never see a ram like that. They'll also hunt their whole lives and never see a ram like this.
Yeah. No, I totally get the significance of this moment. I'm feeling it, man.
He's on a super steep shale hill. This is where all the 3-a-day cardio and just getting up early, trying to prepare. A lot of people just think they can't do this kind of stuff. These are the real men. They get out here in May. They live out here, working in it day after day. These guys will prove to you that you can. You can do anything you put your mind to, and this is it right here. It's game time. It's a giant. I'm pretty fired up, so we're gonna get going.
The mood quickly changed from elation to focus as we began our huge ascent. When we got above the tree line, we had to slow down and choose our path carefully. The big ram and his companion had chosen their bedding spot wisely. Finally, the ram stood and presented a broadside shot. I remember thinking I couldn't believe I was looking at a stone sheep in my crosshairs. Just as I squeezed, I felt myself twitch slightly down onto my stock, which raised my barrel, and I shot immediately over the top of his back. The ram ran 30 yards, stopped, and stared at his companion. He wasn't positioned well for another shot. Moments later, an enormous fog bank drifted in, and we completely lost sight of the ram. My heart sank into the deepest despair. An hour and a half later, as if God took a deep breath in, the fog was drawn back off the mountain and into the valley, and there he was, right where we left him. As I waited, I found myself drifting off to thoughts of Callen.
That one's for you, buddy. That one's for you. Those are some of the best people in the world right there. Michael, Tasha, Matthew, Callen. I started to squeeze. I felt myself starting to give it too much and like move. I stopped. I said, come on, buddy. Help me out here. I just pulled all the way through.
That's a hell of a shot.
Oh man, that's the longest shot I've ever made.
That's a hell of a shot.
Like to see that ram the day after that ram. To miss him, he didn't go anywhere. They bedded right back down through a big squall. I mean, that's just, I don't know, that's
Like, well, I asked God and Callen for help on this one.
There's a ram that you can really be proud of right there.
Seriously, I mean, and I'm not just saying just this part, but the hunt. I mean, you guys are professionals. You guys are freaking hardworking.
we do what we can.
No, you guys.
Because we love it.
But it shows, and then, I mean, and in this environment, and come on a sheep hunt to me is something that I honestly never imagined I would be able to do in my life, and I busted my butt. You know, I got married when I was 19. We didn't even, we never even took even a small vacation till well after we had kids, and I was in my 30s. For about 13 years before we took our first vacation. And then one day I took a big risk, started my business. Just pure leap of faith. And and after about 3 years of it, my blood pressure was 210 over 110. Like I was about to die. I was just so stressed out. And then just decided to stick with it and grind it out, get on blood pressure medicine. And, now it's been 10 years since I did that, and I'm getting to the position to be able to do amazing things like this, and just never imagined that I would be able to do something like this. And I've been a freak about hunting since I was really little, and this is just like the biggest dream come true you guys can imagine.
I've never seen anybody more appreciative of an animal after they shot it than that right there.
This is an ancient old ram. I don't even feel worthy of such a beautiful animal, but I sure am appreciative.
It's pretty special.
How old do you estimate that he is here?
It's 13.
Counted yet, but he's 13.
13-year-old ram. 13 years old.
Cassiar Mountains, and they used to keep track of the town there. This was the coldest place in BC. And every valley bottom in this part of the country, it's got 10-12 feet of snow. And it's a long winter. It goes end of October right through till May. And it really is tough country. So for these things to get old like that, 13 years old, it means something that doesn't just happen.
He's been through the most brutal winter.
See, that's an old warrior there.
Well, here he is. We've got him perched up, cleaned up respectfully, and really proud to show him to you. And you see what a unbelievable, magnificent animal. Stone sheep, northern BC, 2015. Honestly, just can't believe I'm here. Can't believe I'm actually getting to experience this. This is the ram of my dreams. He's old. He's literally probably within a winter or two of just dying up here on the mountain. And his cape, his coloration is just classic. Mature, white face, charcoal body, just like I've dreamed of. He's absolutely perfect in every way, but the experience is perfect in every way, and that's really what's most important. I'm just dedicating this entire hunt to Callen Little, who we lost this year. I'm convinced he helped me out on this one, the shot, and I'm thankful for that, but extra thankful for the new friends that I've made that I know I'll be staying in touch with for the rest of my life, that my family's going to get to appreciate this animal not only visually through a form, but also the meat. We're definitely going to honor this animal with eating every bit of him between us and what you guys take.
The recovery of this ram was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. Words can't do it justice. The fog, the mountains, the winding river far below us in the glacier-carved valley, and this 13-and-a-half-year-old ram. Biologists estimate that only 2.5% or fewer stone sheep make it to that age. It could not have been more perfect. We soaked in those moments. I'm not ashamed to tell you I shed more than a few tears that day for a variety of reasons.
Oh, yes.
That's the first time I've gotten to try any of the sheep.
We're socked in. We're staying warm. We were supposed to go for goat today, but we're temporarily putting that on hold. But hopefully it'll clear off in a little bit, and we'll be out on the mountain again.
Dylan commented how unusual it would be to go hunt and take a mountain goat on the same hunt. I felt exhausted. My mind told me it would be nice just to relax for the next week and enjoy the scenery. My will told me absolutely not. We were here, and we'd already spotted an old mature billy way up a drainage several miles from camp a few days earlier. After a 2-hour horseback ride, we set up the glass and quickly relocated the old billy we had seen earlier. He was perched in nearly the same position. By GPS, we figured him to be 2.5 miles away in a straight line. We didn't realize at the time that would be the most brutal 2.5 miles we had ever hiked.
We've been busting brush for probably at least a couple of miles here. It's been rugged getting through here. We're going down through these rocks that are, each one of them you could lose a leg in. It's pretty rough stuff. And it looks like we've got another 1.5 miles of this. That goat is up there in that vertical bluff on the side of that mountain. It's why you come to the mountains, you know. That's why these hunts are so rewarding. Is you really do work for any opportunity that you get.
It took us 8 hours of crossing very dangerous boulder fields separated by bands of a type of tree we nicknamed spider webs because they wrapped your legs up with every step. We finally got as close as we were going to be able to get to the goat when we believed he had spotted us. We quickly set up at 480 yards. As we got in position, he stood up and slowly made his way up the open scree face he had bedded on.
He got him.
No way, man.
Come on, man. Come on.
After 8 hours of the most exhausting hike of my life, I couldn't believe we'd actually done it.
Look at that. Oh, ancient old building. Ancient. What a beautiful animal. Oh. Wow. What can you say? Northern BC, not far from the Yukon border. I'm not gonna lie, this was probably one of the most difficult approaches of my lifetime. Not probably, it was. Oren and Dylan, they are the true mountain men of BC up here, and it's an honor to get to hunt with you guys. It really is. I mean that. Pretty nice hair for the time of year, huh?
Yeah.
Amazing.
24th. Or in early August or mid-August.
Amazing, and you can just see that this is an old warrior here. He's an old Billy.
That's his last tooth there.
Yeah, one tooth in his mouth.
One tooth left in his mouth. So this guy probably was counting his days as far as winter coming on, and I just can't thank you guys enough. That was amazing.
About this time, reality hit. A huge wave of rain clouds were quickly approaching, and it would be dark in an hour and a half. It had taken us 8 to get where we were. When it got to the point in the darkness where it seemed unsafe, we began the slow process of getting a fire going, gathering all the dry wood we could find to get us through the night. You cannot explain the joy of getting back to camp, dry clothes, and a warm sleeping bag to those who have not experienced it under these conditions. It's a beautiful thing. This experience had been an incredible success. I couldn't help but thank God once again for the privilege of truly experiencing the amazing playground He built for us, and for blessing me with the grit to say, I will.